Ding, 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 guys. Welcome to Anchor Watch, our weekly Below Deck chat where we take over Up and Adam's channel to recap Below Deck and kind of have a quick conversation with our naughty yachties and big tip buoys in the chat. Now, Josh, I already saw that you got the best comment of the night. People have remembered that you have ascended to the throne.
No, this is not going to be a thing. Oh, my Twitter. I'm still getting it on Twitter. I'm getting it on chats. I'm getting it in the comments.
Guys, if you don't know already, Josh is royalty. He's the queen of the queen of Anchor Watch. He even beat me for this title, which is so crazy.
My gosh.
Josh, before we get started, though, I do have a couple of shout outs and things to talk about right now. Guys, our second episode of Hot Messy Podcast has dropped on Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify.
I listened to it today, Jason, through I use this weird podcast app. It found you guys, so it was super easy. I just put
We're everywhere.
Hot Messy Podcast, and it was like, boom, here's these two queens yelling at you.
Yeah, but not the almighty Anchor Watch queen.
Oh my God.
Like yourself.
Oh my God.
So go check out the podcast if you haven't done so already. It's completely free. If you hit Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating and leave a review and a hello. Also tonight, guys, occasionally over the next few weeks, we will be doing a fundraiser for Hurricane Ian and relief for the hurricane by donating all the proceeds from this video and many others to the American Red Cross, specifically going to Hurricane Ian. Now, we live down here in South Florida by one of the biggest motor yacht homes in the world. And I don't know why, had some kind of bubble over us when this hurricane passed, but the rest of the state wasn't so fortunate. And so I just wanted to, it just feels weird to talk about yachting. I think you said this last week. Let's talk about yachting when this hurricane just happened. So instead of super chats, or if you want to donate and spread the love, you're more than welcome. Everything is on the side for you.
Yeah, Jason told me this morning, he's like, hey, we have this option that people, like, all the proceeds can go towards it. And I was like, yeah. So I know a lot of you have probably already given, but if you haven't yet and you're looking for a portal to give, just know that on this channel, Jason has opened that door. So if it's super chats, know that it's going there. If it's, I think you can click the link and go directly to it. So it's just, anyway, we just wanted to have yet another door for you guys to the Red Cross. So yeah.
Yes, and it's not showing up for me on StreamYard, but I do want to give a shout out to Anonymous, just donated $50, and then also Coffee Buzz $20. Thank you guys, we greatly appreciate it, and I can tell you our neighbors in the surrounding cities really will appreciate it as well, just as much as this cast of Below Deck is enjoying their new crew member.
You know what's so funny? Yeah, I just wait before we go on to this nonsense. I do have to say, just thanks again, guys. That's very sweet of you guys for donating. Debbie just gave $20. Yeah,
thank you, Debbie.
100% goes to Red Cross and stuff through.
YouTube even waives their fees, so everything you give goes there, which is, I mean, fantastic. You would think Google and the company they have, they'd take something, but they're not.
Yeah. So again, it's there if you guys are looking for a way to get to the Red Cross while we're chatting. Look at this, another $50.
Yeah, thank you, Belky. We appreciate it. And Belky, we are loving the spices you sent. We're gonna do a whole video on our Hot Messy Podcast. Belky's Twist has a great food Instagram, blog, I believe YouTube too, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you're on YouTube. So we'll have to. You know what I'll do is I'll put that all in the description below after. But Josh, and I want to ask everyone in the live chat what we thought about this episode this week, because we recapped 2 episodes last week. We did the Bravo one, and then we jumped ahead to Peacock because a lot of people were already jumping ahead. So we thought, let's just step up and jump ahead. Now we're caught up, and we have a new crew member.
What do we think about? You know what's so funny though, Jason? We have a new crew member, and yet it's like probably one of the smaller things to talk about, in my opinion, because there was so much craziness on this episode that coming into this tonight, I was like, it's so funny. What should be the headline thing to talk about, I'm like, well, it's just one of 5 things I want to cover. You know what I mean? Like it's
I think what I'm getting something is I think that you and I will have different things to talk about tonight because I was so focused on how the new crew member is coming
that's
in
funny. That's
and how
funny.
everything will change if in fact the dynamic would change, which I don't really think it has. I'm just still stuck on this interior crew of destruction right
Yeah.
now.
So there's that. There's the inner. Now we've got the Storm and we have so much to talk about. But since you brought up the new crew member, it's funny. He was brought in to help fill the gap of an awkwardly positioned kind of outsider feeling crew member, and yet we ended up with a dude who so far is kind of the outsider, awkwardly feeling outsider to this group. And I'm like, wow, did we trade one for another? And like, and it's just odd to me because they seem like 3 of the easiest people to get along with.
I mean, that's what I said. But you know what was confusing to me too? Because when we did leave, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but when Jason did leave the yacht, and everyone was like, wow, he did great that last charter. And Storm's like, yeah, he did amazing. I'm like, could this have been prevented? Or was it just a necessary cause? Because it seemed like Jason wanted to leave. He did admit that he was semi-emotional leaving. But could there have been better leadership here? Or did he already decide when Reagan was the bosun that he was ready to go?
I don't think he decided when Reagan was the bosun. I think he's look. I mean, I'm one of these people that thinks every single person is insecure and we all deal with it in different ways. You and I chose to step on the stage and make people laugh with us before they laugh at us, sort of thing. And then there's the other people who hide in the shadows, but we're all the same. Like we're all so awkward and we're all so insecure and we all express it in different ways. I think Jason was a wildly insecure person, and the way he's kind of dealt with it is by acting like these people are so dumb. They just don't get it, and they don't get me, and I'm you guys are just dumb, and that's why I'm not getting along with you. When really, I think deep down, if they treated him like he was their best friend, I think he would have loved it, and he would have wanted that, and he would have, I don't know.
So you're saying that Jason just needed a laugh. He needed a laugh.
Yeah, he needed to chill and just go along with the flow, but I think he was just shy and insecure. And then he came off as a jerk.
Well, I mean, because we were just before we got on here, we were talking about James Bond because there's a James Bond announcement tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm just thinking of yachts and I'm thinking of James Bond. I'm like, Jason like really has it together. And then he left the ship in like tights and colored nails and everything. And hey, to each their own. You have to express yourself the way you are. But I'm like thinking, I'm done with you. I think we're good. We're good with some Jason on this show for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Show me a Jason and I will show you an incredibly obnoxious person.
Girl, listen. Speaking of obnoxious, the relationships this season are pretty they're pretty annoying. I'm gonna have to say, like Natalia, who I was so team Natalia, I think for the past 2 episodes. This time I'm like, wow, you do whine a lot. You whine a lot to Storm. You whine a lot to your interior team, but now Storm and Natalia are kind of having the issues. We start off at that night out where Storm just named Courtney deckhand. Z seems happy with it, so why should Natalia be upset about it? But she was just tired, I guess kind of upset about the timing of it.
While I agree with her, that was not the time to announce it. I also agree with him that she's annoying and that wasn't the time for her to harp on him about it. Like my thing is I was team Storm. I'm kind of getting a little over him and he seems rather immature to me in the way he handles things. I was team Natalia. I'm kind of getting over her. She's kind of a whiny brat. I was team Natasha at first. She's being a pain in the ass. I was team Kyle, and Kyle is getting a little sassy too. I mean, are we all going through the same fatigue with them? Are we just all tired of being on this boat together? Do we all need a day off?
Do you know who I'm not sick of? Is Chef Dave. And wait,
Yeah.
hold on. And Captain Sandy, Chef Dave he keeps performing week after week. I mean, it's ridiculous. At this point, I'm not really upset at him or the lovers quarrel with Natasha. But yeah, I think we're at that dip right now, right? Where we just have a few charters left and everyone's a little tired. The interior team isn't working. Everyone's pointing fingers. Natasha
Yeah.
and Kyle think they're doing the most, while Natalia is kind of jumping ahead to show, look what I've done. And I get that. But if there was an issue, I think your boss would lay it down a little bit. Don't you
Okay,
think
so
that Natasha would be like,
I have a weird take on this.
oh, okay, a
But
weird take.
a weird take, but
I thought you were going to say a royal take.
okay. You're being a royal pain. Can, in some ways, the way that they all fight and bicker and argue and yell at each other, is it almost showing in a weird way the affection and closeness they actually have for each other? Because we tend to fight like that with the ones we love and we know it's safe, like it won't end a
Sure.
friendship. You know what I'm getting at? You know what I mean? Like, who do you bicker with more, Jason, than your brother or something? You know what I mean? Like, you go at it. Well, yeah. But
Yeah. I've never been made fun
you
of
love me
more than anyone else in my life than Josh making fun of me on a daily basis while we were performing together. I know. I mean, you look at Natalia and Kyle, right? Their banter is so funny and they go back and forth. And it seems like what you're saying. They have like a love for each other, but that is the way they communicate. I don't know if this is true or not, but
I think it's there's a comfortableness amongst them, and then they're all so tired. And so now it's gone from witty banter to we're just snipping at each other because I've got to bark at someone. Natalia and Kyle would be better with a better stew. Courtney,
Chief
yeah.
stew. It's funny because we did bring up that photo last week, or maybe the week before, where you saw Toomey and Kyle were filming in Italy, and it's definitely below deck bed for sure. And I'm wondering if one of them is the chief stew or if they have a chief stew on there, because
Jason,
they're both
I'm going to add
fan
to Courtney.
favorites.
I'm going to add to Courtney's comment. Courtney, Natalia, Kyle, and Natasha would be better with a better chief stew.
Oof. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
They're all very competent, but I think what's happened is the leader has taken, like, let loose the reins, and so they're running wild. But if someone reined them in and went like, hey, knock it off, let's get to work. I guess what I'm saying is bravo. I have no experience at all, but if you need me to, I'll step in and do a season. I guess that's what I'm saying.
The funniest thing I've heard all night. That's great. That's good. That's funny.
Can you imagine me?
I mean, yes, I could, in a little, little dainty skirt and a crown, a subtle tiara. Yeah, I mean, listen, the only thing I can't stand with Natasha, and we've talked to Natasha, and she has claimed she got a really bad edit, and we've talked to Chef Ryan about this. There's a link to his interview with Up and Adam in the description below, as well as Kyle and Chef Dave from this season. But a lot of them complain about bad edits, and there's only so much editing you could possibly do on a yachting show. I get if it's Housewives, I get if it's something else, but you really are in close quarters, and you're not a lot. I mean, a lot happens, but we see it. The amount of times Natasha is on her phone, and I just really don't want to hear the word boyfriend ever come out of her mouth again. I'm so tired of talking about her ex-boyfriend that she's on the phone with while she's out with everyone, and Chef Dave is trying to get her up to come dance, and then he gets pissed at her and tells her to fuck off, and then she has this issue and she's so confused. And before this, we've been through such a roller coaster in this short 6 weeks. This whole season is 6 weeks long.
I know.
So in this 6 weeks, we have been through Dave. I hate you, Dave. Oh, Dave's not a bad guy. Okay, wait, no, Dave's such a good guy. I hate my boyfriend. It's just like, oh my God. Like, where is the time to clean the damn pantry or be in charge of your team at this point? And thank God she has Kyle to give her some tough love, because I feel like Kyle is like, get up, bitch. You have to work. You're here to do better. you're here to make a difference and to do your job. Now let's go. If she didn't have that, I don't know what else.
Some, but I think Kyle's good for a pep talk, but the team ain't listening. It's not like I don't see him moving the needle when he does this. By the way, my sister Brittany's watching, so hi, Brittany.
Oh, hi, Brittany. Also, we have Murray and Matt are in town. Murray is, I think, in our chat, but she's one of our mods, and they're visiting, and we're so excited to have them here. So, hi, guys.
Hello. Okay,
everyone in the chat is like, we're here every week. You don't say
I know. You know what's funny is the whole Natalie and I were talking about this when Dave went up to they were on their night off, everyone's having fun. Natasha steps away for a moment, pulls out her phone and video chats, FaceTimes with her boyfriend. He's FaceTiming, he's showing her the dogs and stuff. And then Dave comes up and goes, Hey, come on, come back to the party. Come. Natalie and I were saying, like, what the hell is he doing? Because she's probably on the phone with her boyfriend. If not her boyfriend, it's probably a family member like mom or dad. It's like, dude, go away. If she's FaceTiming someone,
I mean,
obviously
listen,
she's calling someone of importance. It's not like she's ordering a pizza right now.
I'm going to call them both out because I get what you're saying. Okay, Natasha, why the hell are you making a FaceTime call after like 15 shots and I'm talking to my dogs? It's like, okay, yeah, okay, we get it. And then Chef Dave, he obviously knows that she's talking to someone important and he wants to be heard, on the other side of it too. But it's like, I thought, Dave, you were going to put the brakes on this a little bit, but now, we're hearing, gosh, she's so hot. She's so good looking. And it's like, okay, put the brakes on it. It's 6 weeks, guys. It's 6 weeks. This is not Bachelor in Paradise. This is a very quick charter season.
Yeah.
Although Bachelor in Paradise on a yacht with this crew would be kind of crazy. Do you watch The Bachelor?
You know what? I've never watched it.
I mean, most people outgrew it when they were 7, but it's
well, I feel like the whole world watches it and I don't watch it. I feel like the whole world watches Bachelor and Bachelorette and I don't watch it, but everyone watches.
I like Bachelorette because I'd rather look at the men than the women, but Bachelor in Paradise is a whole nother kind of mess, and I feel like we need to do Bachelor on a yacht featuring the below deck crew. Like if you make it to a certain, if certain couples make it long enough, they get to go on this charter yacht for the last 2 weeks, but they could fall in love with one of the crew members. Just saying. That's a reality show. That's great. I mean, right now, Bravo needs a new reality show because the Real Girlfriends in Paris is not working. 100,000 viewers.
I guess what I'm saying, Bravo is fine. I'll do a season of a show for you.
And no one's asking you to put your
crown I just
down for 5 minutes to go.
I feel like this is where it's going, Jason. I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to save you the embarrassment. I'll do it, Bravo. Okay.
Oh, Stacy says I'm describing the new Love Boat. That must be the one that Hannah is on, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if that's correct. I believe it's an Australian show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, is it showing in the United States? The Real Love Boat is starting on Wednesday. It's the Below Deck meets The Bachelor on a boat. That's what Sephora.
Okay, is this like, can we watch it somewhere, or is it like a Hey You thing? We'll have to see what people says or people say. Oh my. Interesting. Yeah, they do. I agree with that too. Well, that'll be interesting because I really want to see it. And Hannah has said that the show is awesome. It looks great. It's actually a really fun introduction to it as well. All right. Well, at least, we have a new lead deckhand, Courtney. Z took that so well. Like so well. Even when he was describing it, he's like, it's nice to see Courtney happy, and her happiness is important. Oh, it is on CBS?
Ooh.
Okay. Well, then we'll have to check that out. That'll be fun. Maybe we'll add a little 5 minutes extra to our show.
Tune into the Hot Messy podcast. Jason and Adam will cover it.
Probably not. But, he is so happy for Courtney at this point. And I'm just thinking it would be so nice to see the rest of the crew kind of be happy and support one another like we did at the beginning, and it's really just not happening. It is so lost. But we
Well,
have a new
I think they should I think they should all go, hey guys, real quick, group huddle. Remember, we're on a television show. We're going to be remembered for the dumb shit we're doing right now. Let's all be cool and knock it off.
yes.
But then again, I guess we wouldn't have a good show. So carry on, knuckleheads. Keep back.
Carry on. And you cannot, at this point, you can do no wrong after Below Deck season 9. No one can do wrong. Okay?
Take a shot, folks.
Take a shot. I mean, Down Under has been amazing. Adventure is supposed to be incredible from what we've heard. But yes, you cannot do no wrong. And this crew, and I think the refresh of the yacht and Captain Sandy coming back with like a new demeanor is just making the season so much better. A lot of people have said it's getting a little boring though this season. Do you feel like that, or do you think we're just getting into that hump of mid-season, mid-charter season, and people are kind of like,
yeah. You know what? I mean, let's not forget, we were having a lot of fun at the beginning of the season. So there's definitely like all the pieces are there to have a fun, great show. And yeah, there wasn't a lot of drama at the top, but we were still enjoying it. Like just the crew being competent and having fun and stuff. I wouldn't mind going out like that and save the drama for the crew kind of battling crappy guests. You know what I mean? I like when they're banding together and the villain isn't someone on the boat. Instead, it's the guest being weird or over demanding.
Which coincidentally, we only see a lot of on Below Deck sailing. You see a lot of that on Below Deck sailing, and that's honestly why I like it so
maybe
much.
It has to do with all the wind that's blowing. maybe
all the heels.
A lot of hot air to bring out the jerks.
I mean,
I could see you on a sailing yacht.
See, that's what you get. I mean, listen, it's the same drama though. We're still dealing with Natasha and her boyfriend. Guys, 100 in the room. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps us out a lot. Again, if you want to give any donation to Hurricane Ian relief tonight, we are accepting donations. They all go straight to the American Red Cross through YouTube, which are waiving their fees. But yes, we're still dealing with the same drama. We're still dealing with Natasha and her boyfriend and Natasha and Dave. And it's like, it's just getting kind of like, is something going to happen? At least we have some new guests who are pretty eclectic. They're pretty interesting. They take a lot of nude photos around, the yacht. And
yeah, let's see some screenshots there.
Pretty places like that. I'm not bringing them up here.
Where are
They're
the
demanding
screenshots?
Because, this girl always wants her cabin cleaned, which was not done at one point. I'm happy to see these guests come on, but I still think we're being overshadowed, or they're being overshadowed by the same simple drama that we're focusing on over.
Let's go back to the nude photo talk.
I don't have, I was saying, I don't have the new photos, but kind of weird. I mean, listen, we have like this photographer guy. They're repeat guests. They've been on this journey before, but not on this boat. But it's interesting to watch, like, the young girl walk around with all of her clothes off on the yacht while the guy is taking photos of her. It's just strange. I know Reed was saying in his confessional that he felt very awkward at one moment when everyone was on the cliff and they were taking photos and the girl like had everything off. And I was thinking to myself, who wouldn't be awkward in this situation? Josh. Because Reed says he comes from a conservative, family and town and upbringing, so he just wants to kind of not, participate and keep his head down.
I joke and say crazy stuff, but let's be honest, I would be so embarrassed.
I think we all would. I mean, I can't even get away with it. I'd be like, I'm gay. I can look. Like, no, that doesn't work either. I think we're all just kind of.
No, you know what's funny though? I think people who do that kind of stuff are like really boring people, and that's like the one thing they have to like make themselves feel like the one girl's like she's a dominatrix, and it's
dominatrix. We've had a friend who's been a dominatrix before.
Yeah, but my thing also is like, other than being a dominatrix, what else is she? What makes her interesting? Like, dude, shades are going on. Yeah, and then by the way, Norma's here, of course. Hi, Norma. See, Norma likes to take nude photo shots. Nothing against that, Norma. That's fine.
Hey, listen, I just don't, in front of a whole crew of people, maybe maybe not.
As a matter of fact, for the Red Cross, Norma will be selling photos that will be donated
Yes.
to the Red Cross.
We appreciate it.
Just
and guys,
start
we
posting
appreciate
your
everyone
email address, and Norma
tonight donating. Norma just donated as well.
Yes, thank you,
$145
Norma.
is great, and we appreciate that, especially for our neighbors down here in South Florida. But yeah, I'm excited to see these new guests. I don't see them causing any issues or problems. I just see the crew having more and more issues. I'm not seeing any changes to the exterior crew. Like Reed came on board with a lot of experience. His parents own a tow company. He's worked on tugboats. So this guy is, like, according to Captain Sandy, a guy who can handle lines, who can tie knots. Like, that is what they needed. Jason couldn't tie that other knot he was trying to do the other day. I think Adam did it the other day when we were out on the boat. Like, come on, so it would be nice to see how Reed kind of fits in and interacts. But I don't think Reed is a type of person, and I've only gotten a first impression, and my first impression of Reed was good. He's respectful, especially to Captain Sandy. Even calling her sir, which was really funny because I knew, he was probably like, oh shit. But she was like, no, you meant it with respect.
Yeah,
I'm one of few female captains, so I'm gonna give you a pass on that. But yeah, my first impressions of him are great.
Can we just say too, shout out to Captain Sandy for realizing intentions. I think so many people would act like, oh, he said sir to a lady and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but what was his intention? He messed up, but he was trying to be respectful and stuff. I feel like
the tone Reed used had respect in it. You could hear it.
So I think so many people these days don't remember the intentions, and they get so hung up on like the misuse of a word or something that I really like that Captain Sandy was like, don't worry, I get what you're saying and stuff, and I get what you're trying to do. Yeah, soldier on. You know what I mean?
Soldier on. I was just talking about this, and I don't want to bring this up too much on Hot Messy Podcast, how Adam and I were talking about social media and how quick we are to jump on things without understanding or having more information. And Captain Sandy is just a person who, I don't think she's really ever looking for conflict. And she can hear the tone. She knows.
Yeah.
I think
he's
she
a
likes
nervous guy who just joined the crew and is trying to prove himself. And the captain standing right over him while he's doing something. Of course,
she just wants to double check. She wants to make sure that this guy knows what he's doing.
But I'm saying, she got that he was in a very nerve-wracking situation.
100%.
And was cool about it. I think it's funny. Of course, I think he's going to be a great crewman. Already, he shows competence and he's doing well at the actual job. He's just kind of a goofy, awkward guy. He tries to make jokes, and nothing's more painful than people who don't know.
But you know what is different about him and Jason is Jason needed the validation.
Yes. Yeah.
Reed doesn't seem like he needs the validation. He's there to do his job. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, he's a good fit. Hopefully the crew, the Tres Amigos of Below Deck Med will let him in with open arms. Let's hope. I mean, Reed, I was checking out his Instagram. He's worked on Motor Yacht Excellence before, which is a big yacht. I've actually been on it, I believe, at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. It's a big crew. He has experience. So he's jumping onto this knowing. Whereas Jason said he worked on smaller yachts. He was a skipper on a sailboat. It's very different. The expectations are different.
And just the Reed obviously has worked with crews before and been part of a crew where Jason a lot of times was kind of solo, and so of course he can have opinion on how to do everything because he's the only one doing it, and so everything went his way, the way that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he'll be fine. And really, we have 3 charters left, as they said several times on this episode. So
That's it. So what is that? What are we on, week 4, week 5?
Yeah.
Of these 6 weeks, funny. This entire season we're watching happens within 6 weeks. And when you put that into thought, your opinions start to change.
Yes.
So it's really funny. Okay, quick question for the live chat for you, Josh. Will Storm and Natalia last? She's already confirmed it hasn't. But how long do we think this is going to last on the show?
Oh, I think the goodbye she gave him and him walking away going, all right, I think that was it. I don't see a rekindling. I mean, unless there's a drunken night and they're like, hey, we got 3 charters left. Do you want to have some fun on the way out the door? But no, I don't think they're going to be attempting to rekindle some kind of deep relationship. But Norma, how do you really feel?
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Norma. We appreciate you.
I like Elaine.
I know, Norma.
No.
You know what? It's so funny. If we recap the Bravo episode, everyone's like, we've already seen it. And then we do the Peacock one. People are like, we haven't seen it yet. So, you know, it's there. It's there.
Yeah. Anchor watch the Damned If We Do episodes.
Damn if we don't.
Yeah.
Listen, what do
you think? I mean, do you think?
I don't think so. I think Storm, like you said, is a little immature at points. You know, he's excited to be in this leadership position. He's taking it very seriously, maybe a little too seriously, where he has to leave and go home. And after a few drinks, he shouldn't really be doing anchor watch. He shouldn't have relieved Jason. That was what he wanted to do on his night off. You know, he's like, I gotta focus on my job. And it's like, we get it. Everyone does, but it's also a day off. You have to recoup. You have to rest to be able to do your job properly.
Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more. This was a long episode.
It
wasn't bad at all. It was just long. Like on Peacock, it was 55 minutes. So I don't know what we're going into next Monday on.
Yeah,
on
when
Bravo.
I hit pause and go for the pee break, and it's only halfway through, I'm like, oh geez.
Yeah,
I may have to take another pee break before this episode. I measure all shows and movies in pee breaks, folks.
Guys, we still have 100 in the room. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps us out tremendously. The like button is not helping us tonight as far as donations. So if you want to donate to Hurricane Ian Relief and the American Red Cross, everything tonight, all proceeds from this video are going to that. And we appreciate it, and so does everyone down here in Florida. Okay, so where we ended off was the situation between Kyle and Natalia. Natalia has spent pretty much the day on the beach with the guests as they took their nude photos on the cliff, and then to come home for the BDSM party.
Which we're going to see next week. We haven't actually
We're going to see it. We need to see it. I don't think that, you know, this was very different dress up than the Dolly Parton party we had a few episodes ago. But I don't think anything was really BDSM about these outfits. You can't just throw on some eyeshadow and a tank and a wig and call it BDSM, or can you? Maybe you can. Maybe that is what that is.
Norma, let us know in the comments.
She's gonna hate you.
I know.
I mean, Elaine, I have to agree with this, and Sadie. I love Natalia on the decorating, on the decor of the table. She usually does a lot, and does a good job. But you know, now she's just hounding Kyle. But Kyle had a moment where he said to the guest, "I'm sorry, your room wasn't cleaned. The head of housekeeping was out all day with you."
Bold.
And she caught him. That was bold. That was
and then
very bold.
He tried to justify it, and it's like, dude, shut up, eat it this time. You got to admit, you
100%
were caught. Eat it. Like,
I'm not gonna bag too much on Kyle. I'm gonna see him next week. We're going out in New York, so I can't say anything, but I'll
say something. Kyle, you were caught, and you looked foolish fighting back. You should. Hey, Jason, when you're with him, give me a call. I'm going to talk to him.
It did look foolish. It was weird. It was like, why are you saying that?
We all make mistakes. He was caught on film making a dumb one. He shouldn't have done that.
Do you see the pace that Kyle and Natasha are working at? Is this a new pace? Because before, on all of the other episodes up until like the past two, you know, where he met Frank and she kind of got involved with her boyfriend again, you've seen their pace kind of slow down. And maybe that's what's bothering Natasha. Or Natalia at this point.
Yeah, we're here. I'm gonna let me see if I can. Here's my Kyle impersonation. Wait, where's my
Lord have mercy?
Pretend like I got a tray here with a bunch of silverware stuff on it, and she comes in and goes, "It hasn't been cleaned yet," and he's like, "Oh, We ran out of time. We ran out of time. And then he
It's
goes back to like
crazy.
scrubbing a fork. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Look,
it did. It was
I've
like, come on,
really enjoyed Kyle, but he's being a little much the last episode or two.
I mean, and I said this at the beginning. Natalia has become more and more annoying to me in the sense that she whines a lot and she complains a lot. But at the same time, I'm like with her sometimes. I'm like, okay, in this instance, that guest cabin should have been clean. That pantry should have been done because that one night where Kyle and Natasha were up all night with the guests until like
yes,
5 in the morning, they had plenty of time to be on their phones. They had plenty of time to be like, oh gosh, oh gosh. It's up to Natasha as the chief stew to be like, I need to get on this. You know, when Captain Sandy has talked to you multiple times, you would think that you would need to just step it up a little bit.
time to lean, time to clean, right?
Okay, Sadie Lady is asking Josh, are you no longer Team Kyle? Remember, team whatever is very important, and it holds a big title here on Anchor Watch. We have
Look,
Team Sean, we
Team
have
Sean.
Team No More Season 9 Below Deck. We have Team. What's the other team?
No. I announced that Team Sean was backing and taking on Team Kyle. But we can still be disappointed in some people's decisions at times. I'm going to say this, Kyle, be better.
You know what I do find with
Tighten
Kyle,
it up.
though?
Kyle, tighten it up. It's getting
he
loose.
is good TV, and as we're talking about this, I'm going to try to bring up a tweet that I got. Well, not me personally, but you know, with Kyle, we know that he's coming on to another season of Below Deck Med, which is great. I think he's great TV. Like, I honestly, I think he's entertaining, right?
I mean, he's being part of it too. Is he's you know, it's kind of that I feel like he's in his sophomore year now. You know, like those that when you start feeling a little big for your britches, and it's like, all right, tone it down. We know you're not the new guy anymore. You're feeling comfortable, but you're feeling a little too comfortable. Someone needs to take you down a peg. That's where Kyle kind of is right now for me. And still, I love Kyle. I think Kyle's great TV, and I do want to see him on more seasons.
Oh,
but
same. I think
a little
putting
big for his
Kyle
britches right now.
Putting Kyle in any group of interior team on any boat, like, let's throw Kyle everywhere. Let's throw him down under. Let's throw him in sailing. Let's just throw him everywhere and see how Kyle is with the cast. I think he's funny. Now, Norma, you did say Kyle acting cocky. So there was a tweet, and that had a lot of responses, and this is from Eric Ebert. He says, a gay man who gets clumped in with all gay men, which I can actually attest to. I always get clumped into whatever gay men are doing, and they assume that Jason's that way too. I will apologize for Kyle's lack of work ethic and decorum in a professional setting. He should know and act better. It makes me embarrassed to watch. Bring back Josiah Carter. I want to know how you feel about that, Josh, and I want to know how the live chat feels about this, because with Eric's comment here, I can attest that I do get clumped into certain stereotypes. However, we're watching a TV show.
Well, I mean, first of all, everybody gets clumped into groups right now more than ever in my whole life. So I think that's a little obnoxious that we're trying so hard to promote individualism. We're putting people into groups, which is insane to
Correct.
me. But as far as this goes, look, this is obviously the way this is written. This is a guy who, like me, who like you, we are fans of Kyle. We just all feel he's being a bit much. And so he's coming out and saying, Kyle, like, if he didn't like Kyle, he wouldn't be writing all this. Like, he wouldn't take the time. Instead, he's obviously a fan of Kyle's, but he's like, yeah, lack of decorum, lack of professionalism, step it up.
It was shocking to me to see the responses, though, that actually agreed with this.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, I can understand. I can understand it to a sense, and it's like, okay, there were some comments Kyle has made. Yes, his mouth goes off a little bit. A different take than Josiah, but just like Eric is saying, you know, you don't need to clump me in. We're not all the same. You know what I mean? I'm not Kyle. Kyle's not me. I'm not Josiah. Yeah. Josiah's not Kyle. Like, you know what I mean? We're not all the same. So it's very interesting. But I did want to bring that up. Shelly says Kyle is playing a role. And that is something I've seen on Twitter and a couple of other places too, where they think, he's playing for the television, or for the cameras. Sorry. When are we in the 60s? He's playing for the television. No, but he's playing for the cameras, and it's obvious. And it's more than not. It's usually great. He's usually fun. But now you can see him kind of,
I bet you next season he'll be a lot better. It's kind of like how Captain Sandy has gotten better. She started off and everyone, like, I don't know, you and I liked her, but the world didn't seem to like her. But now everyone seems to be coming around because she's done a few seasons. She's probably read a lot of the tweets and gotten a lot of the feedback and is like, had a,
we have, we've been talking about this for a minute though. 115 in the room, guys. Hit that like button, please. We love you. Thank you for staying up late with us and having a glass of wine and chit-chatting about Below Deck.
Yes, that's your way to tip us, and we're hoping for a big tip tonight.
Yeah, we love big tips.
Okay.
I probably love them more than you do. But I think it's going to be interesting though to place Kyle like with Toomey. I think the dynamic is just going to change so much. But I wonder if Captain Sandy, because of the rumors we've been hearing, has kind of brought it down. Like she's completely changed into the Captain Sandy that I fell in love with. I never not liked Captain Sandy, although I was Team Hannah for a minute during that whole situation with Malia. And Malia to me just got annoying and a little redundant at the end. But I wonder if she's trying to prep herself, because we have heard that Captain Lee mid-season of season 10 coming up is going to be replaced with Captain Sandy. She's going to have to come in and take over. We've heard this multiple times from multiple sources. So that would be cool to see a crossover captain. It hasn't happened.
Yeah. What if the episode is Captain Lee's boat is attacked by pirates and Captain Sandy comes swinging in with like a knife in her mouth on a rope and saves the day. What I'm saying is, bravo. Guys. If you need me to do a season of a show, I'll do it. That's
Josh, no one's asking.
I think people are asking in the comments. I'm going to have to check, but I think people are asking for it. So.
Kendra, thank you so much for the donation. Guys, again, we're about to wrap up, but if you do want to donate to the American Red Cross, specifically to the Hurricane Ian Relief Fund, our neighbors, listen, we were in this bubble where I don't know what happened. We didn't get hit with anything. It was like a little bit of rain, and then the rest of the storm. Yeah, no, where's the wood? But it's crazy, these storms. You never can tell what they're going to do, and same on the West Coast. You never can tell what these fires are going to do. It's Mother Nature works in mysterious ways. So we appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for doing that. All right, Josh, what are we looking forward to? I guess in the next episode, but also in the rest of the season here.
Well, the next episode, I think we all want to see what a BDSM party thrown by the same team who thought it was a good idea to take a bunch of basically Christian women and offer them a dildo. I think we're all excited to see what this party is going to be like.
Right.
I think it'll be, we have the new crew member, so we get to see how that dynamic's going to play out. I think Natasha's going to hook up with Dave once more.
You think it's going to happen again?
I do. I don't think she's going to be wanting. I think she's going to get drunk and blame it on that and want to hook up and stuff. And Dave's going to be like, I'm on a boat, and he port in the storm, right? And then as far as Storm and
Natalia,
yeah, I think they might hook up again too, just out of drunken, like, oh, let's just have fun when we're.
He's revealed on Watch What Happens Live that they're not a thing. So,
yep, but they're still on a boat together, and they're still all young. And
what relationship's going to last longer through the season, though? You think hers and Storm's, or hers and the relationship she has with her team?
Neither.
Good Lord. Belky Swiss, thank you, Belky. And Nadine, so glad to hear that, because holy crap, that was a big one. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how. I'm interested in Reed. I think he's an interesting addition, and like you said, he's a bit awkward. He has the experience. I want to see how he fits into this clique that has kind of formed that Jason couldn't really, fit into. So I want to see that.
Is this guy your type, Jason?
No. That's Colin from Below Deck Sailing.
Okay.
But no, I just want to see how he fits into this group, but I also I don't want to see any more of Natasha and Dave. So I don't care if anything happens with them. We don't need to film it. Film him making the fish that he can barely fit in the oven. That's amazing. Film him making a cake where he puts all the flowers and dumps the gook on top and like, here's like, hey, happy birthday. Love that. Chef Dave is amazing in the kitchen. The stuff that he's plating is amazing. And thank you, whoever donated $20 to American Red Cross. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
That's awesome, guys.
It's anonymous. But I don't want to see any more Dave and Natasha. I don't want to see her on her phone talking to her boyfriend, talking about how she's never, ever not been in a relationship. It's so ridiculous at this point. It looks bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad. What should we ask people in the comments who are checking out the replay? What are you guys looking forward to? Actually, how do we feel about Reed joining the crew? Do we think he's going to fit in with the rest of the deck crew?
I think a better question is, do we have enough episodes to see if he actually fits in?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think right as the plane might be starting to take off, we're going to go, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. So have a good day. We'll see you guys later. On to the next.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Let's do this. Anyone who's watching the replay and in the chat right now, if you want to pipe in, who do we think is not showing up at the reunion? Reagan or Jason?
Oh boy.
I think Jason, because he was kind of like done with everything. Even on Watch What Happens Live, he was like, I'll never work with Storm. I'll never work with Chef
I
Dave.
think he seems like the kind of guy though who would want the attention and I think show up. I think Reagan might not show up because she almost seems like not even really engaged anyways. So
This was a good question. I like this question.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people Natasha.
I think both too. I don't see Reagan showing up. Like, what is she gonna say? Yeah, we didn't make the I lied on my CV. Like, what are you gonna say? You were there for a minute. You didn't say much when you were there.
I think Jason would show up. He for the attention. I think everyone will show up. You're probably right. They'll probably all show up. Although, are they going to bring them in studio, or are we going to see a bunch of heads on screens?
I hope not. It's really hard to get them all there because this is the one reunion that I give a little bit of forgiveness to because they're all yachties. They're all over the world, working in different places at different times. So I understand that. But it is really nice when they're in studio, and their ratings do really well when they're on Watch What Happens Live. Like when Chef Ryan from Down Under and Kyle were on, they had some of the highest ratings. It's really nice when they're all there, and I know a few of them are there and will be there. I think they will film it while BravoCon is kind of happening, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe they will all be in the same place, or most of them will be. We hope.
By the way, we've told them before, but for those who haven't been watching, you'll be at BravoCon next week, isn't it?
We will. I'm so tired right now from the week we've had releasing the podcast and, pumping out stuff on YouTube, but we will be there next week. I think we get there like Wednesday or Thursday. And
are you guys going to participate? Are you doing press? Like, is Adam doing any interviews?
Yeah, Adam will actually be with one of our friends named Emily D. Baker. She's the biggest badass YouTube legal commentator.
Yeah,
you can go check her out. She's amazing. So they'll be together doing a lot of interviews and press and stuff like that. And I will be working. So, but you guys will find out why. So I can't wait. But yeah, BravoCon is expensive. There's a lot of like secondhand places like selling VIP tickets for like half the price. But like, Josh, we're talking tickets went for like $3,000 to go to all VIP events for 3 days.
Jeez.
That's a mortgage. These people aren't that great.
Yeah. I guess that's, in a way, it kind of shows that I should probably do a Bravo show. I'll do a
No.
season. I
No
think
one wants. Don't do Bravo show. It's gonna
I
ruin
think
your life. It
well,
will
guys,
ruin your life.
the only show I watch on Bravo is Below Deck, but
The
maybe I
only
should show up
show
at Bravo.
anyone watches on Bravo. We had actually a comment on one of our videos last week, and the comment is always from the same person. They always say the same thing, and it happens every week. She says, "Who watches these stupid boat shows? No one watches these. I asked my friends. No one watches them." I'm like, well, a lot of people do because it's the highest rated show on Bravo. So someone's watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's watching it.
Maybe not you and your friends, but yeah, everyone else is.
I think it's just more relatable. Like even I have friends who, a lot of our friends like that watch Housewives. Their husbands obviously don't. I mean, Josh, you're not sitting there watching Housewives all day. But the one show that people watch a lot, is like, well, my husband watches Below Deck, and then the husband will be like, oh shit, that's on Bravo, and it's like, yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, I have friends who do not watch Bravo, but they watch Below Deck, and then they find out that I do a show, and they go, "What?" Like, not only do I do a show, but we've been doing it for a year. So
it's almost been a year. So when I come back from BravoCon, I think the week after will be our 1 year covering Below Deck, which we've done Below Deck season 9, and then Below Deck Sailing, and now Below Deck Med.
But we did more. We did more than that, Jason.
Oh, we did Sailing before too.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll the montage clips. Do we not have any kind of...
No, we don't have montage clip. This is StreamYard. I can barely upload a 14-second clip for an intro.
Well,
all right, guys.
We'll
get a montage clip. I'll have to go back and download every episode we've ever done and try to make it fun. I don't think that's
oh my god, I would love if you had to go through a year's worth of footage and try to put together a best of.
Yes. Below Deck season Med last season was the first time I ever watched the series, and I'm hooked. That's amazing. That's fun. The last season I wasn't really into, but that's so crazy because when I got hooked on Below Deck, and even Josh, when you did, it was these seasons that no one else really liked, but we got hooked on them. So that's awesome to know. Thank you, Sephora, for sharing that. That's cool. It is fun. All right, guys, we're gonna let you go. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I want to thank everyone who has ended up. Thank you so much for your donation.
$50 right there at the buzzer. $220 raised for hurricane relief. That's awesome. And yeah, by all means, this money's going to the Red Cross. Donate directly to the Red Cross, or if you're looking for a link that's easy to find, Jason put one here. YouTube's not taking any fees. We're not keeping any of it. It just directly goes. So any portal you can get to get money to the Red Cross to help, if you have the funds, do so. We
appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate that, and I'm sure a lot of people down here do as well. We've made donations as well, and we're just hoping that people get their homes back and their stuff back soon. But yeah, $220, guys, and we will keep doing this throughout the month to aid the Hurricane Ian Relief Fund. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Let us know who you think is going to show up to the reunion and who might not show up to the reunion. What do we think about Reed Jenkins, the new deckhand? And just leave us some thoughts in the comments.
Leave comments, leave thoughts. Jason and I go in all week and comment back. I have so much fun, and you guys, like, some of the comments are so insightful. I'm like, maybe they should be doing this show. I feel like an idiot after I read the comments. It's like really good stuff that you guys write. So please, share, and we will definitely comment back. And
we will comment back, and then we will see you next week, right before Adam and I head out to BravoCon. And Josh, I hope you get your show on Bravo.
I will do one season. I feel like that's what everybody's asking for. I'll do it.
All right. That's good. All right, guys. Good night. Bye.